Is everyone like? Has everyone like had some pizza? Had something to drink? All right, then let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you. First of all, thank you to my co-speaker. Like, great talk. And yeah, those are kind of like difficult shoes to fill, but I'll do my best. um, Today, we're going to be talking about something called WebMCP, which sounds very fancy. It might or might not be what you guys are thinking it is, but we're going to talk about it today. Um, Before we get started, I would like to talk a little bit about myself. I promise this is the only time that I'm going to speak about myself. My name is Lester. I'm an associate tech here at WePoint. I'm also a development team lead. I have a lot of experience, quite a lot of experience. I've been developed software like pretty much my entire adult life. And if you guys want to find me on socials, I'm Lester Botello everywhere. That's it. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? This is like the summary of what we'll be seeing. I'll try to go a little quicker, but basically we're going to explain what WebMCP is. We're going to talk about what use cases are good for WebMCP. We're going to break down the different APIs that WebMCP is about. How we're going to talk about how we can integrate it with Flutter applications. We're going to see a little demo, and then we're going to talk a little bit about limitations before finishing for the night. And let's talk about WebMCP. Like I said at the beginning, that it may or may not be what you guys are thinking it is. So I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. So WebMCP is not a thing, actually, right now. WebMCP is, at the moment, just a proposal. It's just a proposal from some organizations, some of them big tech, between them Google and Microsoft, among others, that aims primarily at allowing AI agents to leverage pre-declared tools on a web environment. And that means that you should be able to bring agentic work to any website. That's like what the proposal is about, like bringing automation through tools, the same way that we more or less do right now with MCPs, but to the web. One of the things that this proposal aims for is to have a standard that is compatible with any website that is capable of rendering DOM and that can run JavaScript. That's like a that's like a must for the standard, and that of course includes Flutter applications built for the web, because Flutter applications built for the web are exactly regular web applications, right? It should work side by side with what we call DOM actuation, which means that the actions that are performed through WebMCP should not disrupt in any way the way that the DOM is constructed, right? That's also a requirement. And at the moment, because it's a proposal, you're not going to find it available like in any browser, in any product, in wide availability. Right now, it's in early preview. If you want to try it out, you need this version of Chrome Canary that I'm showing right here. We're going like, I think we're in 147 right now, so we should be like the latest one should help with this. And if you want to sign in for the early preview program, there's the QR code. You can just like do that, and that should work. That should work fine. So let's talk about real-world usage examples for WebMCP. So what can be used? What can WebMCP be used for? For example, customer support. Like, let's say that you want to automate the process of, I don't know, canceling your phone bill, or buying insurance for your car. At the moment, if you want to have this functionality, right, like usually like websites have chatbots or things like that. So the idea is that WebMCP will allow you to just, through a tool, like write what you want, and the website should automatically like perform all the tasks for you. That's like what the idea behind it. And e-commerce is also like a great use case. Like, for example, if you want to add something to your cart, order something, ask for delivery, things like that. And one good example is also like travel. Like, say like you want to pick a flight that has like very specific criteria, right? This is also a good example. In fact, if you sign up for the early preview, Google will provide you with some samples. One of those samples, like the sample that they usually use in presentations and whatnot, it's about like flight search and booking. So that's a great example as well. So what are the APIs that WebMCP exposes? It exposes two APIs, two distinct APIs. One of them is a declarative API. The declarative API allows you to define the tools and the actions that your WebMCP will be able to perform by using simple annotations on HTML forms, right? Like, for example, in this little code that we see right here, like we have like a form, and inside it we have a select, and you can see that there is a tool param title annotation and a tool param description annotation. Like, with these two, like a WebMCP will automatically know that you are exposing those tools, and it should be able like to call them, right? And when you click submit, the same way that you usually do with a regular HTML application, you will probably have some JavaScript that will perform that action. And what the WebMCP tool in your browser it's supposed to do is to allow you to click submit and fill out like any information about the form automatically. That's what this example like feels more or less about. That's like the first API. The second API is the imperative API. The imperative API is through JavaScript, pretty much exclusively. It's usually the best option to perform like more complex actions. For example, I don't know, more complex stuff that maybe in the context of a simple HTML form is difficult to do. Gaming could be like gaming could be a good anything that can be supported by JavaScript theoretically could be automated through WebMCP. We're gonna see good examples of this, particularly with the imperative API. But I want to point out first that non-compliant web browsers that, for example, disable agentic interactions will behave in that case as if you are not, like, if you are disabling scripts in your page, like they will simply be ignored, because this is the way like browsers are built in right now. If the browser detects some JavaScript code that it doesn't recognize, because the way the imperative API works is by exposing this object that you see right here that is called the model context. This model context is like the main object that is going to be invoked to execute the actions of your WebMCP server. A browser that has that is not compliant with WebMCP will simply ignore this tag and not execute it. That's the way it works. So in the case of Flutter specifically, how we can leverage that? Well, if you guys have done some web programming on Flutter, you know that the Dart language, because this is a feature of the Dart language, not a Flutter feature itself. The Dart language includes a very cool feature that's called JS interrupt, which basically allows you to expose Dart code so that it's to JavaScript code, so that it can be invoked from JavaScript and vice versa, like a Dart code that can execute like code that's in JavaScript. So very cool feature. And if you're able to leverage this, you can implement WebMCP tools very easily in your Flutter application for the web. And let's not drag too long in the theoretical. Let's go and see some actual examples. This QR code right here is the code for the sample for the sample that we're gonna see tonight. If you guys are interested, feel free to scan it. I'm gonna give it a minute in case you guys want to take a picture or just go into it. All right, so okay, so let's move to this screen. So we have what are we looking at here? We're looking at a React native application, a React application, not React Native, a React application, which is a good example for the first part of what I want to show you. So for a React application, you have your index.html here, right? And you're gonna see that the first thing that we're doing right here is we're calling this script right here that is called WebMCP.ts, and is this script that we have right here. And if you notice, I'm going to point your attention to this part right here, which is the register tools function. You can see two things. Like the first thing that we're seeing is that we're exposing a model context here, right? And this model context is registering a tool that we're defining right here. Now, this is very cool what we look at it in code, but how would this look like in reality? Let's take a look at how this would look in reality. So this is our React Native application like running, right? This is a simple to-do application. And before I show you that, I would like to show you two things. So Google Chrome makes it very easily to test WebMCPs through the usage of this extension right here, the Model Context Tool Inspector. Like you can get this from the Chrome Web Store, but before you use it, you have to actually enable this flag right here. You have to come to Chrome Canary, and you have to look for this flag right here that is called WebMCP for testing. By default, is disabled. This is like the address of the setting right here, and then you're gonna set it to enable. Then this will like enable support for WebMCPs on your browser, and then you're going to install like the Model Context Tool Inspector. And in my React application that I was showing previously, like this is my React application, like and this is a simple to-do application that I can do, for example, call mom, right? And I can add a task. I can complete it, I can uncomplete it, and I can delete it, right? If we click here, right, we see that our extension is active right here, and you can see that there is a number here. Like there is a number here that indicates me that the extension has detected that there is a tool available, which is this tool that we're creating right here. We're registering this tool that what basically does is it creates a new to-do, and it adds it to the local storage. That's basically what it does. And if you guys want to see it in action, so I'm gonna click in my extension, right? And when I do, I get this this nice interface. This is provided by the extension, and I'm going to explain what is happening here. So what the WebMCP proposal expects at some point is that browsers, compliant browsers, have some form of interaction, just like as we currently do with a regular AI agent, and through this interaction, we can ask the website to do something. And if the website has tools available to provide this functionality, the browser will call these tools and execute them. And this is what the extension basically does. The extension simulates this that eventually the browsers will implement at some point. And you actually need a Gemini API key to use this. So you can go to AI Studio and create a Gemini API key for free. That's not a problem. And with this Gemini API key, you should be able to activate your MCP tool. And you can see that in the user prompt, the extension has actually filled out. I don't know if you can read it. I don't know if it's too small, but it has actually filled out a test prompt that I can use. This means that it has already identified the tool. You can actually see the definition of the tool is very small for you guys to see it, but basically the definition of the tool is here. And if you scroll here, you see that there are the tools that we need to create, and the tool is created. It's called created task, and it only gets an argument that is the title. And sure, let's take the suggestion of the prompt: create a task to buy groceries. If I click send, you will see that the task will be created. What's happening here is that the extension is calling the tool, and the tool is calling some JavaScript function that is doing the same thing that you'll be doing if you click add task here. Is basically that. And this is all nice. This is all very nice. But how does this look in a Flutter web application? Which is, yeah. Go ahead. If you guys have a question, you can interrupt me. That's not a problem.
Do you provide all of those stuff into your code? Or?
So all of this is provided here. The React application has an index HTML page, which is basically this, right? Like the home page, and the index HTML page, it's calling a script, right? It's adding a script, which is this, which is the one that's responsible for creating the tool. It creates the tool by creating a model context object. This is the actual object that the WebMCP standard exposes for you to use in JavaScript. This is the actual object.
But you don't need to provide anything specific, like a semantic, something like that.
No.
For the AI to understand.
No. The WebMCP standards handles all that. Handles the discovery of the tool. It handles when to call it. Because there is a description. Because if you guys see, for example, when you create the tool, you have to specify the title, and you have to specify a description. Where's the description? I don't see the description here. Well, maybe I forgot to. 32. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So basically, this is what the MCP engine is going to use to know what the website is able to provide. You're basically creating a tool that has a title and has a description. And with this description, this is because you're working with an AI agent, right? The AI agent, by exposing the tools that the web application by discovering the tools that the web application is discovering, it's able to infer which tasks the website is able to provide. That's basically it. And all of that is provided by the WebMCP standard by itself. Like all you need to do as a developer is to create the tool, is to expose a model context object and register a tool. That's it. That's all you need to do. And WebMCP will handle the rest. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt me. Yeah, go. Sorry? Yes. Yes.
There's a concept for the global MCP for the browser level.
You mean if you can? Let me see if I understand your question. You mean that that if we can use like web MCPs in the same way that you use regular MCPs, like with an AI agent running in my terminal, something like that? Is that?
I cannot really think about use cases, but I'm just more capability.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, if the spec also kind of covering on the browser level, providing kind of MCP, so that yeah, you can use it in many different websites, but same MCP.
Yeah. So one thing about that is, and we're gonna get when we get to the limitations, because this has limitations. When we get to the limitations, you'll understand why this probably won't work the way you're seeing it. Billy has a question as well.
Maybe from a common extension, you can embed WebMCP inside the common that is global to the content of the phone. Not only the client, like website.
Yes. So yeah. So you need a browser context you need to have inside a browser. That's like the main thing. Like if you're not inside a browser, you won't be able to use WebMCP. And this is one of the reasons for which like this is actually like a standard, because this is something that all of the web providers like Chrome, Edge, Safari, everyone like need to agree. Okay, we're gonna support this, and we're gonna provide it like as a functionality in the browser. And then when you have your browsers like supporting this functionality, at some point there's going to be like a way to incorporate WebMCP so that a website that exposes those tools like is able to discover it, is able to discover them like automatically. And that's more or less the, I don't know if that answers your question. Okay.
So you're saying like the website builders will be able to access like generic tools built in the browser?
Won't be able to? Yes. Like if the standard is supported, like widely, all you need to do is to write the code to expose the tools, or if you want to go like the declarative way, like create your tools like as HTML tags and everything, and the browser with support with MCP should be able like to discover those tools and use them. That's it.
When you trigger the create event,
Yeah.
the UI change. So what does your tool do? Does it interact with the interface, the UI, or is it updating the database and then you're streaming something?
That's a great question. So this is something that React like handles like pretty much kind of automatically behind the scenes, right? But in a more like pure JavaScript application, you as a developer will be responsible for like having the UI react to the actions that the WebMCP has called. Because your WebMCP, the only thing that does is call a JavaScript function. Like it's not responsible for changing the UI.
Without calling the UI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
Yeah, that's it. Uh, uh, what did I click? Where did I click? Okay. So this is for the React sample, right? Like, but let's take a look at how does this look in a Flutter application. So in a Flutter web application, this is like I have already expanded like the web head here, and a Flutter web application is not different than any other web application. It has like a index HTML file, which is like the home of the web page, right? And in the same way that we saw with React, right? We can just like include a script, right? In this case, we're not using a TypeScript file. We're using like a simple JavaScript file, which is this, which basically does pretty much the same that the React sample was doing. Is basically like we're checking if a model context object is available. We're going to register a tool. We're going to give it a name, a description. Like we said, the description is important because the description is what actually tells the AI agent what your tool does, right? It defines the schema, like the parameters that it's going to take and everything. And then it calls this, which is like an execute function. And you can see that it's calling an add to do function, right? From the window object. But this add to do function is not defined actually anywhere, right? So where does this live? This lives here. This lives in this Dart file that we have right here inside utils, right? That is called export to do and export add to do. And you can see that we are importing two packages. We're importing JS interrupt and JS interrupt on safe. The unsafe package is just if you are going to be performing like low-level operations or whatnot, but it's good to import it just in case, right? And what you're doing basically is you are exporting. You are calling a function that is called export to do, that is going to accept a title, the date, the project ID. It's going to set a name. This is the name with which the function will be exposed to JavaScript, right? This is why like we're calling like the add to do function. And we call like the global context object. We set the property with the name of the function that we want to call, and we call add to do.js. And what this does basically, if you come here to the main.dart, you can see that there is an export add to do function, right? That basically does all the heavy lifting. It basically like calls the data repository and creates a new to do and adds a new to do to the repository, right? And how does this look? Well, it looks like this. This is my application in Flutter. It's kind of like a clone of Todoist, of a Todoist, an application that's called Todoist that does the same. And you can see that in the same way that we did with the React application, the model context tool inspector has already detected the tool. It shows the description. It shows the input schema, that it's a little bit more complex than the React native one because it accepts more parameters, right? And if I can, for example, add a task and say, for example, I want to a task for tomorrow, and I'm going to say that this is going to be from groceries, and I'm going to say that the task name is going to be like go to the supermarket, right? And I can add my task, and it's added the same way as with the other application. I can complete it, but I can also, let's use the same prompt. Remind me to submit the quarterly report next Tuesday. Let's see if it actually submits it like for next Tuesday. Okay, it created something called submit quarterly report, but I don't think it's actually like in the day that I'm expecting. or it can be, but I don't have an edit function because this was like vibe coded on the fly by anti-gravity, right? Like, yeah, well, but this is showing only the time. It could be like Tuesday. It could be like, oh yeah, you can see it here. You're right. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. There, actually, you're right. There you go. Yeah. So this is an UI problem, right? This is a UI problem, not a problem with the WebMCP. Like the WebMCP did its job, the function did its job, created the tool, and added it. And you can see that the UI also like reacted automatically because this is also something that Flutter like also handles if you like wire the code like properly, right? But yeah, you can say like call mom, like I said earlier, today at, let's try an example with the time, like today at 9 p.m. And yeah, there you go. It actually created one task, call mom at 9 p.m. So that's pretty much it. This is what WebMCP, what the WebMCP proposal is about. Again, this is not a thing. This is not something that you're going to find like in any browser at the moment. This is a proposal that we hope that it passes at some point. If I'm not mistaken, it has to be approved by the W3C first, and then like it needs to be approved like that by all the browser vendors and whatnot in order to become like a standard. So, and that usually takes a few months and maybe a year, maybe more. So hopefully next year we will see something like this, like happening. But imagine the possibilities, right? Imagine the possibilities of you having like a website in which like you can say, you can ask your, okay, I don't want to navigate through all these menus. This is too complex. I want to cancel my contract that you guys are hiding like the option for canceling my contract. I just want to cancel it. So here's a tool so that you can just ask to cancel your contract. And like the WebMCP is going to do like the rest, right? So before we wrap up, it's important to talk about the limitations because the first limitation I already mentioned it, and is that this is not a thing, right? It's not a thing yet. It will be soon. But a second limitation is the one that I was explaining to Billy earlier, you need a browser context. As cool as it would be like to have your AI agent call a WebMCP and do something on the web, unfortunately, this is not possible, at least with this implementation of WebMCP. Maybe it will be in the future, or I don't know. But for now, you need to live within a browser. You need to be within a browser in order to take advantage of WebMCP. And because we need to live within a browser, there is no built-in discovery mechanism, like other than the one that the tool provides, like other than like the tool navigating to the website and going through the exposed tools. There's no way to like outside of the browsing context, like discover that there are tools available in this website, for example. And like I was also mentioning to Billy when he asked this question as well, the developers must ensure UI synchronization. Most UI frameworks like have ways to do this, like really in a really straightforward way, including Flutter, right? And some UIs that are really complex, like for example, multi-page forms and things like that, will probably need to be refactored so that they can like actually take advantage of WebMCP. If you have like, if your UI is too complex, well, if your UI is too complex, you already have a problem, right? And you have to resolve it anyway. Like if your UI shouldn't be too complex. So this would be like a good opportunity, like to fix that. And that's what I had for today. Not sure if there are any more questions. If not, then thank you all, and yeah. Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
What they are in terms of the security, talk more about.
Uh, so yeah, yeah. So, um, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if this is something that the proposal is actually looking into. For now, from what I know of the proposal, is that because it requires a browsing context, right? Like the security will be like will be like tied to whatever security you have in your app. Like your app, you at the moment, like because the way this works, you probably would be good to harden your application from within, right? Because again, like this is a a tool that, if approved, will be available like to everyone. And of course, it will be susceptible of like malicious usage, right? And like with anything, like hardening your application from the inside would need to be like the first step. In terms of like security provisions that the standard itself provides, I don't know of any at the moment. Yeah.
Can be, thank you for like.
Yeah.
Can it be like interactive way? Like, for example, some complicated tasks. For example, I go to website, I ask the MCP to register and buy me some thing to and deliver. Something like like that. It has some steps in it. Does it work?
It your website will be as complex as you design it to be. Like if you design it in a way, because and that's a good question actually. Like a lot of websites are not designed with the agentic web in mind, right? Like because the agentic web is simply not a thing, right? And a lot of websites assume that the user is going to sit down in their computer or their phone or whatever, and they're going to like type an address, sign in, click here, go to this button, and the UIs and the UX of the web pages are modeled based on that behavior. So
No, I don't care about the like a design and stuff. I'm talking like, is there any way actually to for the like coding wise, development wise, to ask the user something?
oh, you mean for the website to interact with the with the user? I don't think so.
With the AI.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It's
My next question, but in MCP spec, there's the behavior for education. That is exactly MCP spec covering. But my question was that, what is actually MCP spec coverage with WebMCP? So what kind of features actually it supports? Does it support prompt, tool, resource, education, tab? Well, there's many features that the standard MCP spec covers. But I just wondering that what actually MCP.
that's actually a great question, and something that I wanted to say and I forgot to say it during my presentation. WebMCP is not MCP. They have nothing to do with each other. Even if WebMCP has MCP in its name, like the MCP, I think it's a moniker, like a marketing term that will probably be changed at some point because they're not related, right? Yeah, it's just tools, right? It's just tools that are one direction, right? Like you can only chat with a potential AI agent within your browser, and ask that AI agent to call tools on your website, and that's it. And all of that needs, as of right now, as where the standard, as where the proposal stands, that only can be done from within the context of a browser. can be done like from outside that, which is one of the advantages of the actual MCP standard, right? Like that you can use like whatever agent you want, whatever IDE you want, and you can still use the tools and even have an automated agent do its thing. But I mean, this looks really cool, right? But we were talking about OpenClaw earlier, right? We're in a point right now that agents like can go to the browser and do things themselves. So yeah. So but from a user perspective, right? Like having a way, I think this could provide value for those users that don't have anything to do with automation and things like that. Like this is promising, right? This is promising to resolve things on the web and like and make things easier.
Who controls the model choice?
The browser. In this case, everything is Gemini because we're using a Gemini API key. Eventually, I guess that when this ships like general availability, there's gonna be like vendors that will align themselves with a specific vendor. Like for example, Chrome will most likely align with Gemini, of course, and I don't know, Edge maybe with OpenAI, something like that.
But
They,
I think it's an extension. They can make their extension.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah, but this is just for.
ChatGPT also make their extension that works with the browser.
Yeah. I think exactly, and I think Anthropic has one as well. Like, there's a few products, but yeah, to answer your question, like when this ships eventually, like every browser will align with whatever AI vendor that fits their needs the best. I don't think we're gonna get to a point in which like the vendors are going to ask you to provide your API key to do things, but yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because this is Canary, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, I've seen it. Like you have like Gemini in the browser. I haven't tried it though. Yeah. And can you ask it to like do things, right? Like sign me up for this web page, like for example.
Even ChatGPT application does it.
But the thing is that the WebMCP already defined available tools. So actually, the AI agent doesn't need to be the full page that we follow to the context window. That's not the case anymore with that feature.
Yeah.
Maybe a weird question.
Yeah. Sure. I'm not a UX designer. I would probably request the help of a UX designer. Here's what I want to do. Help me build this in a way that. Remember that one of the objectives that WebMCP wants to achieve is to play nicely with non-agentic workflows. Like a website that supports an agentic workflow should play nicely with a manual workflow, right? So, but this is something that this is like at a design level that I always speak about design because design is important. You actually need to think about what you want to achieve and which goals do you want to you want to take to completion in your website, right? And if I would do that for my website, I would try to like think ahead and say, okay, there will be users that will take advantage of whatever AI features the browser provides, but there will be other users that will prefer the manual way. And I have to play nicely for both.
As you can do with the Geneva.
Yeah, exactly.
The main page is just landing. There's no interactive prompt that will actually generate UI.
Yeah.
Can maybe just list a description of all the tools, so when you're creating a prompt, you know it's kind of,
And blank HTML.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, there are no more questions. Thanks, everyone.